Hi everyone! Good morning and welcome to my second studio vlog. I hope you are all doing really well. I am right now just sitting downstairs in my comfy spare bedroom where I can record without waking up my daughter, and I am enjoying my first hot cup of coffee for the day. This week has had sort of a different feel as we've actually gotten some rain, and there's almost been a theme in that there was a lot of testing, trying, and learning, which was actually really nice. As we get closer to the end of summer, it makes me think of transition. At every change in season, I like to think about what my goals were for the last season and what I'd like them to be for the next season. And I also naturally seem to shift hobbies and interests. I can see that with not having to water the garden as much, I'm knitting and spinning and baking a lot more. On the days that I'm going to make bread, I like to mix up my starter or levain for the bread right when I get up. It gives the levain time to rise, and then I can mix the bread dough in the afternoon and finish it up in the evening. While I was in the kitchen and I had some time, I decided to wash up some yarn samples that I spun up. I don't usually spin yarn samples, but I really wanted to make some soft, fuzzy, woolly looking yarn for a shawl that I wanted to knit. And when I tried spinning what is sort of my normal yarn, it was very round and tight and dense and basically the opposite of what I wanted, so I decided to try again. This was also one of my days that I get to work, so in the evening I headed upstairs and did a screen recording of me putting together a mood board for my first Skillshare class. The class I'm putting together is going to be on how to make a repeating pattern in Photoshop. I've loved the idea of teaching online for years, but I've always felt a little intimidated by it, so it feels really good now to just be going for it and starting my first class. And now that I've started, I've come up with a whole list of class ideas that I would love to put together. Okay, so this is part of what I meant where I said it was a good week for trying and learning. Not everything totally worked out this week. I didn't end up getting to my bread dough in time, so bread making didn't happen today. I felt a little disappointed and almost guilty for some reason, but I realized that I could have made it happen if I didn't have to read the recipe and weigh out all the ingredients. So I decided to weigh out every ingredient for 2 batches of bread so that I could just mix things together the next day and not have to think about it. Having all of the ingredients ready the next day made a huge difference. It totally worked. I made the dough, and then the day after that, it was a beautiful, cool and rainy morning that I got to bake the bread. I absolutely love hot summer days and sunshine. I have been so grateful during this very hot, dry summer that I handle the heat really well. But some days it does feel amazing to get to have a cozy, rainy day. My daughter also decided to sleep in really late today, and that gave me a chance to spin up a larger sample of the yarn for that shawl. I'm not really a very skilled spinner, and I've always just been happy spinning up the yarn however it ends up going and then trying to find what to knit with it after. This project has made me really excited to try to get better at spinning though. I really love knitting and have found that I can get beautiful wool to spin for a lot cheaper than some of the beautiful wool yarns that I'd like to buy. That really is a lot of the reason why I got into spinning, but I really want to see if I can get actually good at it so that I can make the yarn that I'd like to knit with. I also love how meditative spinning can be. Watching all of the spinning parts while I treadle with my feet and slowly draft the wool is very peaceful, and it gives my mind just enough to focus on so that any of the usual nagging thoughts that I have are put to rest for a while. I'd like to see if I can get quite a bit of spinning done this fall. I'd like to make this shawl and also spin and knit a sweater for my husband. There's one in particular that I'd like to make for him, and I think that it would be a very satisfying and fun and cozy project to work on. In the same way that spinning and knitting seem to kind of come and go with the seasons, it seems like lately I move through seasons of traditional and digital art. I have been loving digital art for the past 6 months or so, and suddenly this week I just miss having a brush in my hand. I miss mixing the paint and washing it, soaking into the paper, and just all of it. I decided to do a watercolor warm-up, which is something I don't do enough of. I've also been really loving abstract art and mark making lately. I don't do a lot of abstract art at this point, but I am so inspired by it and really want to work at it and see if it has a place in kind of my usual work. This warm-up is just on some very regular paper that I sectioned into 4, and my only focus here is just to play with color and to see what kind of marks I can make. While I was waiting for that to dry, I decided to sketch out a crane. Along with flowers and plants, birds are one of my favorite things to draw, and I keep thinking that I would love to make a finished piece with one of these long, elegant birds. I also wanted to ink with a brush because it's been a long time since I've done that. Lately, I've been really favoring my fountain pens, but I found out that fountain pen inks don't seem to be light fast. I'm going to do a little more research on that, but for now I want to practice inking with a brush so that I can use my light fast drawing inks instead. After these warm-ups, I felt a lot more confident with painting and my traditional work, and I basically just got excited and started working on this painting that I started over a year ago. I started this painting originally as a gift from my husband that was supposed to be for his last birthday. I think he'll still be just as happy to have it when it's done though, even if it's taken a little longer than planned. We don't really have a lot of art up in the house right now, and my husband is really supportive of my artwork, so I wanted to make him something painted by me that was of something he enjoys. My husband really enjoys books and games and movies that are set in medieval times, especially if they have like cool old castles and I thought something like this might be a nice way to bring his interests into our home decor. Working on this painting was pretty much how I wrapped up my second working day for this week. It felt really good to see progress on this painting and to be painting again in general. Thank you so much again for joining me for this week and for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a great 2 weeks ahead. See you soon.